Back here on WICR, the BS Report, John Stanko, Kevin Bartnett. Quick shout out to Molly Sheehan listening out there, celebrating the Red Sox victorious win, 1-0 win over the Detroit Tigers.
Still picking Detroit to win the World Series.
Which we'll get into later in the show, but a huge win for the Red Sox, stealing one against Verlander. But it's not time for that. It's time for a team that's not winning. And that team...
He just turned his mic off by accident. That's karma right there, you know. I know he's going to talk bad on my Giants, and then he just accidentally turned his mic off.
What more can I say awful about your New York Giants that you're not going to say yourself?
That's true.
They're 0-6.
I didn't watch most of the game. I actually had to miss most of the game. I had other commitments, so I watched the first quarter a little bit.
Fair weather. I'm just
kidding.
kidding.
And I watched the last drive. Obviously, They were looking really good, and then the overthrow, which I still think Myers should have caught, honestly. But you know what? For the most part, you know what? I'm gonna say I could not have been more pleased with Brandon Jacobs. What a surprise!
Yes, 106 yards for Brandon Jacobs.
2 touchdowns.
That is the highlight of the game for the Giants.
See the thing. Now that was definitely the highlight. But one thing that's really sticking out to me is people love to jump on Eli Manning. Do you realize when people are talking about Ruben Randle making mistakes on those 2 interceptions that he threw, that they were saying they're Ruben Randle's fault, that maybe people should cut Eli some slack? If we had this discussion a couple of weeks ago about guys running the wrong routes.
Yep.
Was it not clear that it was a miscommunication and it was Randle's fault?
Yes, especially on the pick 6, I think,
yes.
if I remember correctly.
I mean, that was a total miswritten bad route by Ruben Randle.
Yep.
So, I mean, I love Ruben Randle. And he's the reason why I actually do, when he does play good, he is the reason why I would not mind if the New York Giants did trade Hakeem Nicks.
And we'll get into that right now. Hakeem Nicks has done not much this year for the New York Giants.
I beg to differ. He still puts up yards, big time.
Okay, he had 4 receptions for 70 yards against the Chicago Bears last Thursday. In 2013, so far he's had 25 receptions, 442 yards, yet 0 touchdowns, though, which I think is a little bit alarming if you're a Giants fan. But you would not mind seeing him traded. Over the past 2 weeks, he's put up good numbers. He's had 13 receptions, over 200 yards.
He had a monster week 1. He was a no-show in the Carolina game and Kansas City games. He was a no-show for those 2 games. And then
what would you trade? What would you want for him?
What would I want from him? Honestly, I would want if they trade him for they can't because they're not the Giants are getting compensation, a 3rd-round compensation if they let him walk in free agency. So that's the rule because he's playing out his rookie contract. And I'm not knocking Hakeem Nicks' character because he has not complained once about getting a new contract. He says he wants to be with the Giants for a long time. He has not complained about this season. He has not been a Victor Cruz say, I want more money. He just wants to play. So I'm not knocking him. But I think right now it's best for the organization if they get some value out of him. And who knows, maybe sign him maybe even after they trade him. Because they say, from what I hear, if they do trade him, he's a big Eli Manning fan. He loves working with Eli. He would be willing to come back even if they do trade him.
Okay.
So,
I mean, with the way the season is going, it's whether you give up on the season or not, and I don't.
They have to give up on the season now. You're 0-6. I mean, unless you win every single game from now on, or win 9 out of the next 10, because the NFC East is so bad that maybe they're not winning 9 out of the next 10 though. It's something like last year the Denver Broncos were 2-3 at one point, and then they ripped off 10 in a row. First of all, Eli Manning is not his big brother.
No, he's not.
He's not his big brother. So.
I mean, it's tough for the New York Giants. Well, I don't think you trade Hakeem Nicks because at this rate you're going to get a really good draft pick. You're going to possibly get like a top 10 draft pick at the rate you're going.
Top 5. You're being generous saying top 10. That's the most generous you've been all year to the Giants. Stanko.
I think you'll get out of that bottom 5 tier. I think you'll win like 5 games and get out of that bottom 5 tier. I mean, yeah. 4 or 5 games, maybe 4 games by the end of the year.
See, the thing about the Giants is they're such a I won't say conservative. They're such an old-school organization where if the Giants do have a chance of getting Jadeveon Clowney, they might not take him. They're a best player available thing, but if they think that, they may also say, we think that someone like Jake Matthews is the best player on the board. Okay. And take Jake Matthews would make a lot of sense for the Giants. He really would.
Yep.
But so would Jadeveon Clowney.
I mean, Jadeveon Clowney would make a lot of sense on a lot of teams. But he, again, this is a sidetrack, but he has not impressed me much this year at South Carolina.
Apparently, people are advising him to save his body. Really, I mean, I don't agree with it. I think you should go all out.
No, go all out, and you play to win.
I mean, it's not the front.
You play to win the game.
It's not the first contract that gets you a lot of money. It's the second contract that gets you a lot of money.
Yep.
So I think he should be going all out, honestly. But he gets triple teamed. I mean, they throw chip blocks on him, and then they'll have the left guard and left tackle on him. So he's changing college football right now because, I mean, face it, when he goes to the NFL, they're not going to instantly double team him because he's going to need to prove himself. So, I mean, I've seen him play. Obviously, he's a freak.
So
Obviously.
you would take Jadeveon Clowney for the New York Giants?
I would.
You would now.
If he's available. If the Giants were the season 1, the Giants would have the number 2 overall pick.
Okay,
I
now
found the math.
I guess what positions right now do the Giants need to draft in your mind?
See, they absolutely need an offensive lineman. They need like 2 or 3 offensive linemen. Actually, Chris Snee says is on the downhill of his career. He's been one of the best offensive guards in football for a long time. He's out for the season. All right. I like Justin Pugh a lot. I really am a fan of him. He's played. If you realize, did you watch the Thursday night game by any chance?
I did not.
A lot of the
I was on date night.
All the Jake. Date night, yeah. It's over football. Come on, Stanko.
Priorities.
Okay. All of Jacobs' good runs were to the right side and to the right. Basically, we're going to Justin Pugh. So, and Justin Pugh was blocking Julius Peppers.
It's true.
So, like Pugh is playing very. If he's the only offensive lineman on the Giants right now that has a positive rating or something like that, if I were Giants, I would honestly release Will Beatty because he's not living up to that contract that they gave him. They gave him 5 years, $38.5 million.
Too much money.
He played great last. Oh no, he earned it after the season he had. He was very good last year. The Giants last year only allowed 16 sacks.
How many have they allowed this year so
They
far?
probably allowed just as much, I believe.
I'm gonna check that out right now.
Eli Manning was sacked 7 times in the game against Carolina. So Eli Manning was sacked less than any other quarterback last year. So that was money Will Beatty earned. Actually, I think he's playing the card. Okay, I got my money. I don't need to play anymore. But the NFL it doesn't work like that. So
no, it does not.
Right now, I think the Giants they absolutely. I like our defensive tackles a lot because running backs are not. I mean, the only running back I remember that had a great game against us was Sean Moreno. He's the only one who's actually had a very good game.
When you have Peyton Manning at quarterback, it's easy for you to have a good game.
He's having a very good season, so Sean Moreno. So I like our defensive tackles a lot. That's not neat, but our ends, Jason Pierre-Paul, Matthias Kiwanuka, and Justin Tucker are vanished. They're non-existent.
Okay.
You put Jadeveon Clowney, Jason Pierre-Paul will come back and be Jason Pierre-Paul again. Mm-hmm. Linebacker is the worst position. They have the worst linebacking trio in the league.
That's the thing. That's what I think they need to draft. I think they need to draft.
You don't draft a linebacker at number. There are no linebackers. I mean, C.J. Mosley's a good player, but you don't take C.J. Mosley at a top 5 pick.
The New York Giants have allowed 16 sacks on the dot this season.
They've already matched last year's total.
The Oakland Raiders have allowed 28 sacks.
That's why they have Terrell Pryor as starting quarterback.
Oh my God!
So
that's appalling.
Yes. So they have a lot of needs clearly, but Eli Manning is not all the problem, obviously.
No, he's not. I think you guys need linebackers. That's what I would.
That's why I trade, because you can get a good linebacker in the second round, and they can contribute right away. Mm-hmm. That's why if I were the Giants, I would trade Hakeem Nicks to a team who I think would be willing to give up a second rounder in the San Francisco 49ers.
You think they'd be willing to?
I think they would be willing to part with a second rounder.
Would they want Hakeem Nicks?
They need Hakeem Nicks.
Quite
frankly, the New England Patriots need Hakeem Nicks too.
Hey, Austin Collie looked great in that last drive.
Okay, you would rather have Austin Collie than Hakeem Nicks?
No.
Really, just Stanko. He makes your team instantly. Him and Brady would connect in a. He would be Brady's top.
I'm not going to
star.
die and make it better, but I don't think the Patriots give up a second-round pick. I don't think they're that type of organization.
I think if you need to put them over the top, though, Hakeem Nicks is not a bad start, though.
Isn't it past the trade deadline already?
No, it moved to week 8.
That's right.
It was normally week 6, and it moved to week 8, though.
That's right.
So, if I'm honestly, if I were doing the Patriots, I would give up a second round for Hakeem Nicks. I'm not saying this because I want a second round, because you're not getting a first rounder from him. That's just that simple. Mm-hmm. First rounders are hard to come by, but honestly, I think he's a guy though who makes your team instantly better. And if you know that he's going to stay with you guys for a long time, you give up a second rounder for a guy like Hakeem Nicks. You can't draft another receiver. Like you took Aaron Dobson in the second round. Mm-hmm. Has he been worth it? No, absolutely not.
Yeah, he had a pretty solid game yesterday. He has improved gradually as the season's gone on.
You would have rather taken a guy like Kembrell Tompkins in the second round. He's been your best rookie receiver.
It's true, and he's undrafted.
Yeah. So I mean, between the rookie receivers that you had, obviously, well, Sudfeld's not on the team anymore. He's on the Jets now, but
they picked up Joshua Cribbs as well, the New York Jets.
Yes, they did. Yes. So they're making small moves. The New York Jets.
Making small moves.
I mean, the Jets. I mean, they pick up a lot of people in interdivision. Like Clyde Gates was a Miami Dolphin. Now they have Sudfeld. So
I mean, the Patriots did that too. They got Danny Woodhead.
Yeah, but they actually the thing is they actually use the guys.
Yeah,
that's what I like about the Patriots as an organization, as a team, because you're on the New England Patriots, you get in the game. It's that simple. That's why a lot of people sign with them. I don't like how they'll sign a guy and then cut him 2 weeks later.
I mean, that's the Patriots way.
Established veterans like Adrian Wilson. So
yeah, like bye-bye.
Yeah,
it just doesn't matter.
And a guy like Adrian Wilson has been good in this league before too.
Yeah, no, he has.
If I'm the Giants, I would trade Hakeem Nicks, get some value for him. Honestly, you have a lot of needs right now, and you can get value in the second round, maybe even the third round, because I think the Giants do draft well. They have drafted well before, so under Jerry Reese. I mean, some people want him gone, but I don't fire Jerry Reese, honestly.
It's not his fault the team's not performing well.
I mean, he puts together he puts together a talented team. I mean, going into the year, you didn't know Will Beatty was going to be bad this year.
No.
And you didn't know that. And he got Victor Cruz to take less money, I think.
I mean, but good news for the Giants also, I just remember, sorry to cut you off, but David Wilson not out for the season.
Yes, and the Giants just gave Peyton Hillis a physical today.
Did they really?
So,
the big bicep man of Peyton Hillis.
Will be a New York Giant very soon, it seems like. So.
Peyton Hillis, Brandon Jacobs.
Andre Brown, it's not looking too good for them, I guess.
No, but you have
Wilson's
the two
not
biggest running backs.
Wilson is not out for the year, but he's out for a while, I think. A neck injury, you know what? I think the Giants
I heard 4 weeks.
The Giants still believe in Wilson, though. They really do. I don't know, maybe if a new regime comes in, because if the Giants go 2-14, like something like that, or 3-13, Tom Coughlin's not coming back next year.
I don't think he's coming back anyway. I think this is going to be his final swan song.
I mean, a part of me would like it change, honestly. You know, I'm a fan of David Shaw from Stanford.
Yes, you are. You have a man crush on David Shaw.
I have a man crush on many people in college, apparently. Everyone knows about my man crush, apparently, on Aaron Murray, so, you know.
Yes, you have a man crush on Aaron
Yeah,
Murray.
so...
Though I couldn't get the job done on Saturday.
That wasn't totally his fault. He has top 3 running backs out. Give him a break. He has Todd Gurley out, so he's a first-round pick, so we'll get to that later, though, college. But... as for the New York Giants, you know what? They have so many needs right now. They're not a good football team.
No.
They do need to make some changes badly in their personnel. I do not give up on Eli Manning because that man is your franchise.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's won 2 Super Bowls. He's won the right to a bad season.
So I mean, he's had bad seasons before, granted, but he's a guy that you build your franchise around, and he's still, you know what? Even though he's having a bad year, he could turn around right away. He could turn around. He's capable of it. The year before he won his second Super Bowl, he threw 25 interceptions that year. So he's had a bad season before. He's turned it around. So.
Okay. Before we take a break and delve into some other stuff, who are the Giants better than in the NFL right now?
I mean, heck, with the way
who are they better than?
Better than, you can always say, I think right now, Tampa Bay.
You think they're only better than Tampa Bay?
I mean, look, I think if they played Jacksonville, they beat Jacksonville, but Jacksonville the Giants gave Denver a game too, so I think they are better than Jacksonville actually.
Okay.
But just the way my fantasy players play against Jacksonville, surprisingly, Jacksonville doesn't seem like it does bad on defense. It seems like so.
No.
Just the way fantasy guys have played against them. But.
So they're better than the Minnesota. So
they're not better than the Minnesota.
They're not better than. So they're gonna lose on Monday night.
I think Adrian Peterson's gonna have a great game. I think they're gonna lose because I think Adrian Peterson's gonna play with a heavy heart. Obviously,
he didn't play with a heavy heart on Sunday. Well, he did play with a heavy heart on Sunday.
But I think, you know what, he's gonna be more focused. Obviously, going into this game against the Giants. Of course, he'll take it on the Giants now. Of course, but I was hoping he would run for like 7,000 yards on Sunday. It did not happen. His team got blown out. Yeah. But
I'm still up in the air over that Monday night game. I don't know who I'm picking yet.
Yeah.
It is a tough one.
They have a lot to work on. I mean, hopefully, I don't want them to go 0-16. Obviously, I don't want them to be the Detroit Lions.
I don't think it'll be the Detroit Lions. I think you can assure yourself of that.
I mean, it's tough to see, obviously, because obviously, if you're not a Giants fan, if you're not a fan, you don't like them. It's that simple. If you're not a New York Giants fan, people don't like them.
I'm not too heartbroken.
It's just a way of life for some reason. What I see. So if you're not a fan, you don't like them.
It's true.
So most people are enjoying it this year, but someone like me, obviously they're my team. They're my babies, as I like to call it. Not my babies, obviously, but
no, I mean I do feel somewhat bad for Giants. I personally, as a Patriot fan, I have not experienced a bad season. I experienced it last year with the Red Sox. We're going to get into baseball after our next break.
I've experienced one bad season, 1 year I had season tickets. They went 4-12, so they went 4-12, and then I swore I would never go to. I haven't been to a game since that.
Well,
season,
maybe you need to go to another one.
Maybe I should go to a game now, but
Kevin Bartnett's parents buy him Giants tickets so he can turn the season around.
I went to all the games with my father actually, so that year. But yeah, and I swore I was never going to go to another game ever again. But no, that's obviously I will eventually.
You will eventually.
I mean, the Giants are one of the model franchises in the NFL. When you think of like good NFL franchise, the Giants are one of the teams that pop into your head. So it's odd team. Like them and the Pittsburgh Steelers being 1-4, 2 of the model franchises.
Yep, the Rooney's and the
Maras.
In the Maras, exactly.
Yeah, Patriots obviously are off there, and then you got Green Bay, teams who are usually always good. And I'm leaving some teams out. Obviously, I would throw San Francisco in there, but they stunk for about 10 years until Harbaugh took over. So. Yeah.
Well, it's tough for the Giants now. 0-6. Maybe they'll get a win on Monday night against the Minnesota Vikings, but we'll find out. Will the Knicks be traded by Week 8? Who knows? Rumors are running rampant. But we're going to take a short commercial break and then delve into some baseball. The playoffs are in full swing, and the Red Sox just went up 2-1 in the ALCS. We'll be right back with the BS report here on WICR.